Martyn, thanks for joining us. It's always a difficult decision to part company with a manager. Are you able to provide any background to the timing of the events that unfolded following Saturday's defeat to Fleetwood and parting the company with manager Ben Garner?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we'd been experiencing some unease in the lead up to the Fleetwood game about how we've been playing and the results that we've been achieving. But the defeat against Fleetwood was hugely disappointing. The way we played, albeit in difficult conditions in the first half, was just not acceptable. And while I had a conversation immediately after the game to convene a board meeting over a Zoom link, and we came to a unanimous decision that we needed to make a change. We couldn't allow this to continue any longer.
Decision to bring Tommy in on a temporary basis. He's obviously had a big part to play in recruiting these players, so he knows his cohort of players better than anyone else.
Yeah, that's right. And Tommy Weil and I have become very close over the last 2 years. We've represented the panel with the manager to recruit these players, and Tommy has impressed, I think, Weil and myself with his knowledge of the game and his abilities. And it seemed absolutely ideal, as you say, James. He'd done a lot of work in recruiting these players, or identifying these players for Ben to bring in, and it seemed a natural fit. As an interim, he doesn't want the job full time, but he would be a very, very capable and steady pair of hands in the meantime.
At this stage, is there any update on the first team staff, the likes of Jack Madrew and Kev Mayer? Will they assist Tommy for this period?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've been at the training ground this morning. They're in good spirits, and we expect everything else to maintain continuity in terms of coaching staff and medical staff, backroom staff completely.
Now begins the process of appointing a new manager. Is there a timescale in mind for that process to commence?
Well, from my point of view, we want to get someone appointed as soon as possible. That's always easier said than done. But we'll have to see. Sometimes this can be quite a complex situation, identifying who you want to bring in and negotiating a contract. We clearly want to bring someone in who's going to match our ambition and the way that we want to play. We're trying to establish a Bristol Rovers DNA here, which is going to be bright, attacking, entertaining football. We want to be competitive, and we want to be sustainable. We want to be able to generate the development of young players, sell them on, and go again, so that we build the financial strength of this club for the future.
Obviously, throughout the period of curtailment and the prolonged suspension due to COVID, there was a lot of work done behind the scenes, wasn't there? Obviously, the training grounds already come to fruition, the lads are training on a daily basis. You've mentioned it there already, but how important is it that the manager fits into the long-term vision and ambition of this football club?
Oh, absolutely essential. We have now established and are establishing further the way we want to travel in future. So it's really vital that we get someone in that is prepared to work with that process. What we don't want to do now is to recruit managers that bring in their own philosophy and ideas that are different to ours, which tends to throw all the cards up in the air. You never know where they're going to fall, but inevitably it means that the players that we've got don't fit into the new manager's system, and you have to bring new ones in. It just becomes a bit chaotic, and there's no continuity. There's no establishment of a DNA really. So we want to get away from that old style of recruitment, if you like, where we just give the manager a free hand to do what he wants. We have to find a manager that is prepared to work and has the same philosophies as us, really.
You mentioned the matching of kind of ambition and the long-term strategy. Is there a particular style of manager the club is looking to appoint? Obviously, last time out we went down the youth model with Ben. Are you looking for someone perhaps with more experience this time around?
Yes, I mean I wouldn't rule anything out in that sense. What we are looking for is a manager that is prepared to give young players a chance, but not at the expense of winning football matches. We have to win enough football matches to be in a good position in this division, and hopefully competing for a playoff place in good time. We know that it can that it can take quite a period to settle a team in and to get them to gel. We accept that, but we have to show that we are competitive on a match-to-match basis. Yes, we'll get beaten, we'll get caught now and again with a bit of naivety, but we've got to be able to compete. We've got to show that we want to win football matches and go on and win football matches. That's the criteria. And it's a question of giving the younger players a chance. They can't all come in at the same time, we know that, but giving young players an opportunity to get experience and to develop, so they can either become established first team players in the future, or we can get the value of selling them on and then reinvesting that into the football squad.